Hey friends! So for today's video, we're actually gonna do a video that I've seen a handful of folks do, and actually a subscriber of mine, Sarah Jo Makeup, you guys should go check out her channel, she's really cool. She suggested this video to me and I was like, this is a great idea. I haven't done anything like this. Ranking all of my eyeshadow palettes. Also, I need to show you my new earrings. They are so cool. They are, can you see? It's a guillotine. Eat the rich, am I right? But we're gonna go in reverse order from my least favorite to my favorite. I have a list here at the bottom of the barrel as far as eyeshadow palettes go. I have my sleek, what one is this? Vintage Romance. This is very old. I got this from a subscriber many years ago. I don't know why I don't declutter it. I probably should. I just don't really use it much, and it just kind of sits in my drawer a bit. The shades are really pretty, but it's not something that I get a ton of use out of because there are so many sparkly shades. There's not a lot of mattes. That was one thing that always annoyed me about sleek palettes. Unless you're getting ones that are like very specifically matte, you get so many shimmers. There's like 2 mattes in here, and there's not a whole lot of versatility in that. I'll probably declutter this in the next year. I'm gonna see if I can get some use out of it now that I'll be extra at home because my governor put a stay in place proclamation for the next 2 weeks at least. I'm gonna try to do some shop my stash videos because I've never done one before, and when I was going through my eyeshadows, I was like, oh, I have some things that I need to actually like use some. So sleek palette, I didn't count all of these. I don't know. My least favorite. Next we have my NYX Ultimate Shadow Palette in Brights. It's fine, but I don't use it a whole lot. The shades are decently pigmented, but it's nothing to write home about as far as pigmentation goes. There are some unique shades in here that I can use with other palettes, like this purple is really fun. This green is really nice, but like you can see, the pigmentation isn't super great. Like it's kind of, I mean, these are pastels, so it's to be expected, but yeah, it's fine, but it's nothing crazy. It is nice that they're all pretty much matte. Some of them have like slight micro shimmer in them, but they read matte on the eyes. That's at least nice that you're not having any like weird shimmery shades in here. When everything is matte, you can count on it being matte. So that's next. Next to my Viseart Dark Mattes palette. Now, when I'm going through these, I'm not saying that I like dislike any of these palettes. Don't take that, like, because if I dislike something, I get rid of it. But this one, I don't get a ton of use out of because, like I've mentioned in other videos before, I can't really build a full look out of this. I mean, unless I just do like this all over the lid or like this all over the lid. And these blues and greens are not the easiest to blend. These shades all down here blend just fine, but these shades just don't blend very well. I wish they blended better, but if this wasn't so expensive, this would be higher up on my list, but it is so expensive for what you get that it has to be down towards the bottom. Sorry. Next is something that I wish wasn't so fucking annoying. My Smoke Sessions palette from Melt Cosmetics. Now, you can see, this is messy as fuck. I have not used this palette a whole lot, but the only reason that it's messy is because the shimmers have expanded. And I've had a bunch of people tell me that I should message Melt and they can send me a replacement, which I might do just because these are so damn annoying. Like, I don't take this anywhere because it would break all over the place. It's just so frustrating because the shades are beautiful and I would love to use this all the time. I just feel like every time I pick it up, I have to smush the shades down. I had to do that earlier today. No matter what, they always expand. And it's like, what the fuck was wrong with this palette, Melt? Jesus Christ. I wanted to love it. I wanted to love it so, and I did. I loved this when I first got it. And I loved the shades. And I loved the theme of everything. I bought the fucking little pipe. I bought it. But this just didn't live up to the hype of the other palette that I also love from Melt, which we'll talk about much later. Next we have the Zulu palette from Juvia's Place. This is not a bad palette. I will tell you this, it's not a bad palette, but compared to my festival palette that I have, it's just not as good. This yellow is highly disappointing. This shade's fine. This shade's fine. This shade's fine. The green and the orange in here are really nice, and the shimmers are really nice, but like, this yellow is terrible. Like, it's not a good yellow. It's just it's just not very pigmented. Like, look at that. That's so depressing. Like, what is that? What is that? That's a terrible yellow. I just really wanted this palette to be better than it is. Not bad, I'll say this. It's not bad, but the yellow really disappointed me. It really did. Next, we have the palette from She Who Must Not Be Named, and I do like it. I do. I don't use it as much anymore just for multitude of reasons, but the one thing that does annoy me about this palette is that I wish that there was a shade in between these two tones, because this pink is so lavender and then this orange is orange, but there's just not like a straight up pink in here, and I wish that there was. And this gray is useless. Like, I wish that this gray wasn't here because I don't ever use it. Like, that one has had like barely any use out of it. The ones that have had the most use is the orange, the yellow. These four over here have had the most use. Also the white. The white has had a lot of use too, but Next, we have the Kaleidos Futurism 1 Sci-Fi Green. This is a good palette. I just haven't had enough time to use it much. And I haven't formed so much of an opinion on it because I have used the other palette that this is very similar to so much. This is a really good black eyeshadow. I will say this. It's a very good black eyeshadow. This is a really pretty, like, mustardy brown. These shimmers are fine. They're not as good as the other shimmers, I feel like, from the other Kaleidos palettes that I have, but they're fine. These are still very, very good. If you, they're very, very, very travel friendly. And then next, I know some people are gonna be like, wait, how is this not higher up on your list? Again, for kind of the same reason that I haven't had enough time, I haven't used it enough to really love it. And that's the Riviera palette from Anastasia. And I know it's beautiful, it's gorgeous. The shades in here are absolutely stunning. But when I got this, I was also using the Festival palette from Juvia's Place a whole lot, and there's a lot of kind of crossover shades in here that I just wasn't picking this one up as much as that one for some reason. I will do a Shop My Stash though, because I want to use this. I want to use this now that it's springy. I do know that there's a lot of people in the Midwest where it's still snowing, so I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I mentioned in one of my videos, I was like, yeah, everybody just go outside. And I'm like, no, it's still fucking cold there. I'm sorry. Like, my family's from Minnesota. Like, I don't know how cold it is there right now. The Riviera palette is good. I just haven't had enough time. I haven't used it enough to love it so much. Next, we have, now we're getting into the ones that I love all of these next ones. The Clown Blush palette from Likely Makeup. I love this blush palette. This is the only like blush palette I feel like I like using because it can also be used as an eyeshadow palette as well because the colors are really nicely pigmented. I love the theme. I love the design of it. The shades are pretty. I love everything about this brand now. Like, this is what I would, I mean, maybe not clowns, but like the text and the graphic design, this is all very much something that I would do if I had a brand. So I was so excited when Jordy expanded into blush palettes, and I love this palette. And the mirror is like a nice size too, so I can use it. Yeah. Good stuff. Good stuff. Next is my Flower Bomb palette from Midas Cosmetics. This palette is so pretty, so fun, so springy. This is a bit large. I feel like if it was like 2/3 of the size, it would be higher up in my collection as far as favorites go. I could go without some of the glitters for sure, but like these blues, these blues are some of the best blues I have in my entire eyeshadow collection. They are fantastic. Let me see if I can swatch them. Oh, they're so soft. Like, the lighter blue doesn't swatch as well, but like that blue, that's a really good blue. And I love it. I love this palette. Again, it's just a bit large. This is about as large as I would go for an eyeshadow palette, which is why we're gonna talk about one here that I can't place at all. I love Midas. Midas is doing cool things. I should be getting the Smoky Glow palette, hopefully, finally. I've been waiting for it. This whole thing totally like messed up Hannah's collection. I'm so sorry, Hannah. Like, next is my Lethal Cosmetics palette. This one I absolutely love. I love the pigmentation of it. I love the color story. I made this color story myself. Again, this is relatively new, so I haven't like really had a chance to like love on it so much, but so far so good. The shimmers are nice. These mattes, this blue, again, these are another two like great blues in my collection. Some of my favorite blues. Fucking Periwinkle is so pigmented and gorgeous and easy to blend. And oh my god, I wish all blue eyeshadows blended like this. Like, Their mattes are very good. Very good. Next is more Midas. These I'm just counting as like one thing because they're two quads. These are the coffee collection palettes I got from Midas. This is decaf and this is macchiato, and they're just really nice little quads to take with. The shadows are good quality. These are like $12, so it's good quality, good price. The graphic design, again, really, really pretty. I particularly like the design of these ones. Like Rocio did a really good job designing these ones because they're like classy and cool, but also like minimalist, and I think they're really, really well designed as far as like graphically. Honestly, I'm gonna say this right now. Indie brands out there, if you need somebody for graphic design, please hit me up. I swear to God, because I will have time, okay? I will have time because there's only so much I can do working from home from my job. Next, we have the Futurism 5 Electro Turquoise. This one I bought right before Christmas. I love it. I did a whole 3 looks 1 palette. Link will be in a card. And it's super versatile for being this small. Like, the shimmers in here are probably my favorites out of all of the 3 Kaleidos palettes that I have. This brown is gorgeous. This dark green is gorgeous. All of the shades in here are really good. Like, they're all beautiful. It's just, it's nice. It's nice. I love Kaleidos. Next, the Jackie Aina palette. Jackie Aina ABH palette. This one I've been using a lot more lately. I got it for Christmas from my boyfriend. And it's very good. I love this palette. It's really, really good. I feel like if I'd had this palette for like a year, it would be up higher in my favorites just because I will have used it a lot longer, but so far, I love it. So far, there are no dud shades in here. I feel like the only shades that I haven't used a whole lot are Shookington and Wiggley's, just because I don't always use like shimmery jewel tone purples. Lituation I haven't used a whole lot either, but the other shimmers in here, Zam is so fucking beautiful. Sponsored is really cool. Trust Issues is a really nice inner corner highlight. Probably my favorite shade in the entire palette is Pinker. This shade specifically, so nice. Like, it's just a matte, but like, it's so pretty. Like, it's just a beautiful, like pinky rosy burgundy. Ugh, love it so much. So good. So good. Next, we have the Sugar Pill Fun Size Mini Color Palette. This is the pastel palette I prefer to use over the Pastel Goth palette because it does have the pinks in here. It's also slightly less pastel than that palette as well, so they go together quite nicely. I could do like a full pastel look with both of them, which I might do. Looking at them next to each other, they do kind of complete each other because this one has a straight up blue and a straight up yellow, and this one has the pinks. So, like, they do go good together because they kind of complete each other. Like, the greens in here are different than this green, and the pinks in here are obviously different than this pink, but I like this one better because it's just better. And also, I like Sugar Pill better. Okay. Next is the palette that I'm actually wearing on my eyes today, and that is the Kaleidos Futurism 2 Cyber Bronze. And this one isn't exactly the Cyber Bronze, I believe. Well, I know that Georgia, my friend Georgia, gave me this palette because she wasn't using it. She Franken makeuped it and actually put this shade in here, which is from the Astro Pink palette. It's good. I really do love these. These 4 shades are so lovely. This brown. The only shades I'm wearing today are this and this on my eyes, and it makes a complete look. If I want to do neutrals and I want to just take a neutral palette with me, this is what I'm going to take because it's small. Like, not gonna break. The shadows are pressed really nicely to where they're not soft, but they still blend really, really well. We're getting down to the wire. We're getting down to the last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. One palette I'm gonna talk about because I can't place it anywhere because I haven't used it more than like 3 times. This is a BH Cosmetics Zodiac palette. I bought this and then I used it a few times and then immediately I put it in my drawer in my vanity that isn't my regular eyeshadow drawer because it's so fucking huge. This is beautiful. I love this, but I have literally used it less than 5 times. So I cannot place this in my collection because I don't know how well it works on a regular basis. I am going to start using this because I only am going to be doing my makeup at home from now on for the next at least 2 weeks. So this will probably be in a Shop My Stash coming up very, very soon to just kind of play with colors. These baked shadows are actually really nice when I have used them. This is a really fun highlighter here in the center. I haven't used the mattes as much. Aquarius specifically is such a pretty, like, goldy green. Gemini could be slightly more my speed, but you know, just a straight up silver. My downstairs neighbor has company today, which is kind of like why. But yeah, this palette, I literally can't place it anywhere in my collection as far as favorites go because I don't have an opinion on it.
Next.
Sultry. Sultry from ABH. This palette, I love. If I wanted to have a slightly larger neutral palette that I wanted to take with me, this is what I would do because it is truly neutral except for this one shade. And then like Cyborg, which is silver, which is cool toned. Yeah, neutral, cool tone for sure. I literally have no idea what they're doing downstairs. It's beautiful. Rose Quartz is so pretty. Pearl is really, really nice on the inner corner. Fresh is like the best base shade for me. Yeah, the shimmers and the mattes in here are just beautiful. I do love the sparkle of this palette too. Like it's not too sparkly, like it doesn't feel like the glitter is like falling off. Like the way they sealed it is actually really good. And I wouldn't expect anything besides high quality from ABH. So I feel like the only palette that ABH has put out that didn't look like super high end was the Carly Bible palette, honestly. That one looked kind of cheap. But this one
is fancy as fuck.
Also, beautiful graphic design. The font. The next two are quite yellow based. First being the Lemonade palette from Midas. I still have the carton it came in because I want to keep it as pretty as possible. This is the like monochromatic yellow palette that they put out last year that came out it's like similarly timed around the Honey palette from ColourPop. And I like this one more. I like that this one has never pressed glitter in it. I do love this Lemonade palette. I was super excited to support Midas again, and Rocio did a great job with the graphic design. It's just a really nice yellow palette. Just a really good yellow palette. I use it during the summertime and I love yellow. I love yellow eyeshadow. It's such an underrated eyeshadow color. Holy shit. So good. Love it. Next, my ColourPop Yes Please palette. It says Cute AF, but it's the Yes Please palette. I don't know why they put Cute AF on the front. I have no idea. It's really good. And this one is like the dupe for the Natasha Denona Sunset palette. I think that's what it was. I don't think I included this in my like stuff I want to pan this year, but I think I could if I tried hard enough because it's not that difficult to pan these ColourPop shadows, but this is my only ColourPop palette. Y'all know how I rag on ColourPop all the time? I own one ColourPop palette. One. I don't own any of the monochromatic ones. I don't have any of the neutrals that look just like this. I was very tempted with some of them, but this is the only one that I have. Seriously, it's wild. Next, my third favorite ABH palette. Norvina. This is the original Norvina in the 14 pan velvet packaging. This one I actually bought kind of on a whim. I've used this so much. This is the palette that really got me into like doing the two-toned eye look besides the Gemini palette because it does have those pink and purple tones that I can match up perfectly and do them like perfectly on each eye. And the only shade in here I haven't used much, I feel like, is Drama because there is a lot of fallout in it. But like Wild Child, I've used the shit out of, Celestial, Love, Incense, Soul, Base, Dreamer, Rose Gold. I've used this palette a lot. I do like how they organized it too, how they put all the shimmers on the top and the mattes on the bottom. It's just aesthetically pleasing. The only thing that bothers me is how they don't have the pinks and the purples like on top of each other. That's the only thing that bothers me, but it's very pretty. It's very good. Okay, we're down to the wire. We have 5 left. Feral palette from Menagerie Cosmetics. This palette is so pretty. It has my favorite bright shades. Their matte formula is so good. This yellow is like, I think my favorite yellow shadow I have. It is very pigmented. This was the yellow from the Zulu palette. This is the fucking Feral palette yellow. It's so, I feel like the only yellow I've ever had that was better than this is Butter Cupcake from Sugar Pill, which was in a palette that I gifted my sister many years ago, and then she got rid of it, and so I had Butter Cupcake, but now I don't. But their matte formula is absolutely wonderful. And then the shimmers in here, there's only 2 of them, but they're gorgeous. This is the one that they originally released changing these 2 colors out. I just never got around to getting the other shades. These shimmers are gorgeous. This is a really great palette to use for Christmas makeup. Allium shade. Oh, they're so soft and creamy. They just work. Like like so nice. This pink shade, I love. I love this tone of like a corally pink all over the lid. It's one of my favorite eye looks to do, just to literally do like a corally pink all over the lid and just be like, pink eye, but make it fashion. This palette is gorgeous. I love that they match the outside with the colors on the inside. I'm very excited for the Pastel Pup palette that they just announced. Ooh, it's so pretty. I love this. I got this for Christmas of 2018 from my boyfriend, and I love it so much. Juvia's Place Festival palette. This is a mess. It's a mess. I've used the shit out of it. This pink, one of my favorite pink eyeshadows
ever.
These shades here, these 3, have so much of a dip in them. Oh my god. Like this pink, oh, it's so good. It's such a good pink shadow. Oh my god. There was a time when I was only using this when I first got it. I was only using this palette. Like nothing else. This is all I was using. I love it. I feel like if anybody ever asks, like, what's a Juvia's Place palette you recommend? This, because it's so good. The only shade in here that I really don't get much use out of is this like kind of satiny shimmery black, because I don't really use that. But like this is a super blinding highlight if you want to use it as a highlighter. This is a really pretty green. So let me show you these 2 next to each other. This is what I was using a lot when I got this. So you can see the similarities, okay? You can see the similarities. The pink in here I think is a bit more neon, and the green is, I mean, the shimmers in here are generally shimmerier. There's a mustard, and there's a gold, and there's a pink, and there's a green, and like there's so many overlaps. The only thing that this doesn't have the hot orange and the black, and then this doesn't have any of like the blues or the purple. I love this one. I love this one so much. I'd use the shit out of it. All right, top 3, here we go. Subculture. Subculture is so good. I mean, I talked about this in a video where I mentioned like my favorite like unique color stories and stuff, like unique colorful palettes. It's a palette that really does kind of inspire me whenever I look at it, because like I feel like this was a trend-setting palette as far as like color stories go. Definitely the original launch, the formula was kind of spotty, you know, we all remember that debacle, but the formula that I have, it's wonderful. It's so good. Like, I've hit pan on cube. I'm very close on electric. These shades are quite soft. The shimmeries in here are quite soft. I won't say that. But there's only 3 shimmers in here, so you're getting a lot of use out of it. And like Edge is wonderful. Fudge is great. Destiny is awesome. Axis is a really fun teal shade. I love it. It's like the grungy palette that I always loved. Like this color palette is like Seattle to me, you know? I love it. Modern Renaissance. Are y'all surprised?
No.
This palette is what got me excited about eyeshadows again. I'm not kidding. Like, before this palette, I feel like the shadows that I had ABH Artist palette, I had the Kat Von D Shade and Light palette, I still had my Naked palette, I had a handful of other I had the Electric palette from Urban Decay, but wasn't as excited about eyeshadows anymore. It was like, I was really into lipsticks for a hot minute. I was wearing like one shade of MAC eyeshadow for like a straight up year. Like this shade shade. I think it was called Haux, H-A-U-X. Like I was only wearing this like one MAC eyeshadow. It was like Texture and Haux. Those are the only shades I was using. And then this came along and I was like, oh, I can get those tones in a palette with like other things that are sparkly and fun and different. This was like one of the first gifts I ever got from my boyfriend when we first started dating. So it has a special place in my heart and I will always love it. And it's so good. I love it. I love it. This last one, if you've been watching my channel for any length of time, and you're surprised, I don't know if you've been paying attention, Gemini from Melt. This palette, this is the only time, well, the first time I saw a palette on Instagram, I saw photos, I saw the color scheme and the design and everything about it. I was like, that is me. That is me. This palette was made for me. I'm also a Gemini, so fuck yeah. Like green is like my favorite color. Warm mustardy tones are some of my favorite eyeshadow shades. And I remember when it first went on sale, when like I had the like notifications on when they were first launching it, because I was like, I'm not missing out on this palette. I want it so bad. And so I logged on and I got it, and it was a miracle because I was like, how did I never ever get them. I never get the limited edition. Holy shit, I can get it now. Releases. It's great. This palette does not suffer from the same problems the Smoke Sessions palette does. These shimmers work. They do not continuously expand and explode. The black in here is wonderful. I've used this in so many damn videos. Y'all have seen me use it. The greens are a little bit harder to blend, but easier to blend than the greens in the Viseart palette. It's just so pretty. It's just so pretty. Oh my God. I just wish that the name Gemini hadn't scratched off. But I've used it so much to where like I'm not surprised that it did, but I just wish it hadn't. This is probably, this and the Viseart palette are the most expensive palettes that I have, for sure. So that's all. Those are all my palettes, ranked from least to best, favorite to least favorite to favorite. Yeah, let me know if you would like me to do this with my other makeup items, like my highlighters or my lipsticks. Song of the day, I have one. Let's see. Yeah. Today's song of the day is 72 by Smokey Brights. And Smokey Brights actually just came out with this single last weekend, and they're some great peeps. They actually have some new merch on their website. I'll leave a link to their website in the description below. The new shirts are really cool. They have some vinyl and records and music you can buy if you want, but they're great folks. They were supposed to go to South by Southwest and obviously they had to cancel, so they could really use people's support right now. I love those guys. They're some of the kindest, like hardest working folks in music in the city. Like, holy shit, Smokey Brights, I love you guys so much. But yeah, y'all should check out the single 72. It's some great, like, just great pop music. Like, they put out like just great fun pop music. Thanks so much to my patrons, as per usual. I love y'all. Y'all are great. I appreciate you so much. If you're new here and you would like to see more of my videos, please hit that subscribe button. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. That would be awesome. Hit the notification bell so you can know when I upload things. I'm now uploading Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday because I'm stuck at home and I can. So, and we'll be doing a live stream probably Wednesdays from now on. I haven't quite decided yet, but this is going up on Thursday. So thanks so much for watching, everyone, and I will see you all tomorrow. Bye!